Hi everyone, my name is Bethany and I'm here with Singer Sewing Machine Company to show you the new SC220 sewing machine. This machine is computerized, has 200 stitch applications and 9 one-step automatic buttonholes. That's amazing. This machine can do a lot. So I'm excited to show you everything that it can do, but let's start with what comes in the box. So in the box, you're gonna get this machine. You're also gonna get a foot pedal control and the power cord, which plugs right here into the side next to the power switch. It comes with a full instruction manual, as well as a dust cover to protect your machine when you're not using it. And then in the front right here, you will see that we have a little compartment, and inside the compartment is our accessories that are included with the machine. And we'll go over some of these accessories here in a little bit. Some of the things we're going to talk about today with this machine is how to thread it, how to wind a bobbin, and how to select a stitch. Because remember, we have a lot to choose from. So we're not going to get overwhelmed. We're going to have a lot of fun with this today. So let's get started.
The first thing we need to do is power on the machine with the power light switch, which can be located right next to the cord socket. This will cause the LCD display to light up. And now your machine is on. So let's point out some things on the machine before we get started. Here is where you're going to select your stitch length and width, as well as the twin needle mode button and a letter mode button. On this same side, you will also find a hand wheel. This will help you move the needle up and down, as you can see here, manually when positioning your needle. On the front of the machine, you will find the sewing speed control. This you just simply slide left to right to control how fast your sewing machine will sew. Here is the needle up-down button, the reverse stitch, also known as the back stitch button, and the start-stop button. Here is the thread tension control, as well as the thread take-up lever. Down in front of the needle is the thread guide and the needle clamp screw. In the back, you will find the presser foot lifter, which puts the foot up and down and extends it up even further for thicker fabric and changing the foot. And on the left side, you'll find the automatic needle threader. Let's go over some of the accessories that come with your machine, including 3 extra needles, a twin needle, a seam rimper and lip brush, small screwdriver, auxiliary spool pin, extra bobbins, spool pin cap, a zipper foot, a satin stitch foot, a button sewing foot, blind hem foot, and a buttonhole foot. This machine includes a lot of extra accessories to help you with your sewing projects. Next, we're going to be winding the bobbin. Place your spool of thread onto the spool pin and be sure to put the spool pin cap on the end so that the thread stays in place. Next, you're going to take that thread and follow the guide printed on the top of your machine to wind the thread through the bobbin winding tension disc. Then thread that bobbin thread through the bobbin in the tiny little hole. And once you have that threaded through, pull it across the machine and place it on the winding spindle for the bobbin. Slide the bobbin over to lock it into place and hold your thread upright. Gently press the foot control to start winding the bobbin. Once you get it started, stop and clip the extra thread and then continue winding the bobbin to the fullness that you would like. To remove the bobbin, slide the winding spindle back to the left, lift the bobbin up off of it, and clip the thread, leaving a little extra. To place the bobbin, we are going to remove the bobbin cover plate and ensure that our needle is at the highest position. Insert the bobbin, making sure the bobbin rotates counterclockwise when you pull the thread. Pull the thread through slot A and then to the left. Now we are ready to thread the machine by following the printed guides across the top, starting with the thread guide. Bring the thread down and then loop it back up and wind it behind the thread take-up lever and bring it back down. Then you're going to push it behind the thread guide right in front of the needle that I pointed out earlier. Once you have it behind the thread guide, then you can use the automatic needle threader to thread the needle. Now that your needle is threaded, we are going to lift the presser foot and use the hand wheel, turning it towards you to lower the needle and back up in one full stitch motion. This will catch the bobbin thread underneath, creating a loop for you to pull it through under the foot. Once you have the bobbin thread and the top thread together, place them behind and underneath the presser foot. Now we are going to put the bobbin cover plate back on to secure the bobbin, and we are now ready to sew. Now we're going to select a stitch by using the up and down arrow buttons. For this example, I decided to select stitch number 3, which is a simple zigzag stitch. I use the plus and minus on the right hand side at the top to select my stitch length, and the one below selects where your needle is positioned. But since we are using a zigzag stitch for this example, it determines the width of the zigzag. Now I am placing my fabric under the foot and lowering the presser foot gently. We are ready to begin sewing. So I'm going to gently press the foot control on the floor with my foot to begin the sewing. I decided to stop and adjust my sewing speed control so that the machine would sew a little faster. When you are done, simply lift the presser foot back up, pull the fabric and thread to the left, and use the thread cutter on the side of the machine to trim your thread. Here's another example from a different angle of me sewing a straight stitch. I simply lower the foot onto the fabric to secure the fabric in place, and I sew straight across the fabric. And when I get to the end, I stop, I lift the presser foot, I pull the fabric out to the left with the threads, and you'll see from this angle that I use the thread cutter to trim those threads, and there you go.
Wow, we learned so much about this machine, but let me tell you, it can do a lot more. So, to learn more about this machine and everything it can do, just be sure to check the description below. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more wonderful videos just like this one, and I'll see you next time. Bye.